This episode of Film Man was pre-recorded on April 26th, 2021. Hi guys, welcome back to Film Man. As always, I'm joined by my good friend Dan.
Howdy.
And if I did my math correct, this is my penultimate episode of Film Man.
Second to last.
Just nuts. But and I'm gonna be real, I wish I was happier on this occasion. But an event happened last night, Dan, which made me very miffed, to say the least. I'm not in a good mood following the 2021 Oscars.
2021 Oscars. Yeah. But yeah, just kind of to start off, the Oscars were, as of right now, last night. You probably won't hear this for a while. But, yeah, we watched them. I missed a good chunk of it, but I did a little research on what happened. From what I missed like the first hour. But, yeah, Connor, what do we think?
Well, Dan, I have a lot of thoughts. I never thought Steven Soderbergh could let me down this hard, ever. In terms of, like, the actual, like, award ceremony, the actual way it was structured, the conception of bits, the camera angles, I just felt like he offered a lot of really cool promises in all the interviews he's done. They got me incredibly jazzed. And then I see the Oscars, and they weren't nothing special.
I'm going to be honest, guys. For a lot of this first segment, I'm going to be like, because let me just go right out of the gate and say this. The Oscars as an institution, as I think, as difficult as it is to admit for me, it has a lot of power and it gets wrapped up in a lot of politics. But I'd like to think at the end of the day, the power it has comes from people who care about it, comes from the millions and millions of people who just like, oh yeah, the Oscars, that's just the definitive choices for who is the best. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the Oscars enough to get excited or miffed or really feel any emotion. I mean, for the good things, I don't really need that validation from like the shadow company that is the Oscars saying this movie was good. Like, spoiler alert, Nomadland won. That made me, it made me kind of happy. Like, yay, Best Picture, cool. Like, it gets to join a list of other movies that have been called the Best Picture. But at the end of the day, I'm the only one who needs to like that movie for me. So I feel like the Oscars only have the power that we give them. And if we don't give them the power to disappoint us or to say what's good and what's bad, because it's hard to, like, it's so political, everything just ends up being politics and drama is what people go to it for. Like, oh, how did they do this wrong? How did they do this right? And it just ends up being, like, nonsense. It's absolute nonsense is what it is. It's not a ceremony about celebrating film as much as it is people just, like, live reacting to things that they either liked or didn't like. And that seems so... like, for the massive public, for the American public, that seems so, detrimental, Because people like us who are here to celebrate movies and watch all movies, like, just have their time in the light for a moment, it's tough.
Yeah. Well, like, the American public doesn't watch the Oscars anyway, so, like, it doesn't represent the average, like, American film viewer, which I gather. Yeah. I understand. I acknowledge I'm not the average American film viewer. Just by the fact of last year, I watched 415 movies. I am not the average American film goer by any means. And I think I partially do agree with you. The Oscars are a lot of, like, pat on the backs and, like, this is good, this is what's great. And a lot of it is business and politics, and I'm not going to, like... I love the Oscars as an institution and as, like, a thing I watch every year. But I'm not going to be like, they're almighty. They're like the holy standard of like art and like celebration. Because, yeah, they are political. And at the end of the day, it's a TV show. It is all about ratings. And, no, it's not a perfect institution. But I invest too much into the Oscars. Like, I'm not going to, like, if something I like doesn't win, I'm not going to say this movie's garbage because the Academy told me so. But it is a thing where it's like, I do feel somewhat validated when a thing I like wins, and not even validated, but like happy. Because I'm invested in these movies, not in a sense of like what I like is gospel and must win an Oscar, but someone I adore, like I'll go straight into Daniel Kaluuya, winning for Judas and the Black Messiah, someone I think should have won years ago for Get Out. Someone I think could become like one of my favorite actors, and I'll even go out say like one of the best actors working today. Period.
Yeah.
The guy he's a powerhouse, and I'm glad that he finally got his Oscar. About 3 years too late, but I'm glad he finally got his Academy Award.
Well, award shows love doing that, whether it's the Emmys or the Grammys. Oh, not the Emmys. Really, when it's like maybe all the Globes or the Grammys or the Oscars, they love giving it to the next performance.
Yeah.
They want you to prove your worth with the movie that you deserve it, and then they'll give it to you randomly for the next one to be like, oh yeah, there you go, now you have one.
No, they acknowledge like, oh, we goofed.
Yeah.
Last night I had a very visceral reaction when Chadwick lost.
Yes.
Both me and
lost Best Actor, and not only did he lose Best Actor, they saved it for the last category and gave it to Anthony Hopkins, the only non-attendee at the Oscars.
Which I don't know if you heard this yesterday, but Anthony Hopkins' father passed away recently, which is part of the reason why he was not at the ceremony, at least I believe so.
Jeez.
I don't think he usually attends anyway.
Yeah,
but
he doesn't come
it is
anyways,
the circumstance like his father recently passed.
He's had a time.
That's
rough.
And he actually put out a statement earlier today that was like, hey, thank you, Academy. But he didn't say it should have been Chadwick, but he basically said it should have been Chadwick.
There's going to be a lot of upset for this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can't help but think for me, I want to honor Chadwick. I want to remember him as a great actor. And I don't see... I just don't care about the Oscars enough to let this ruin, no, the history books will now forget Chadwick.
No.
He'll be lost to the dust.
I'm not saying
we only have him in the billion-dollar movie franchise of Black Panther.
No,
Dear God.
I'm not saying we're going to forget Chadwick Boseman.
It's what's funny for me is just like, the Oscars, I think, could have honored him in another way than nominating him and then not giving him the win.
Yeah.
You know?
And they tried in that, I'm going to be incredibly pessimistic, in that incredibly rushed and I think kind of offensive in memoriam.
Yeah, they could have spent more time on it.
Yeah.
But also it's so difficult because this was the...
It was a year where a lot of famous people have passed away.
Yeah, a lot of people in general.
And I acknowledge, and obviously, here's the thing. If earlier in the show they didn't have the Name That Tune with Glenn Close and Daniel Kaluuya, it's weird. Like, let's do this like fun game,
and then
let's
later,
rush through the in memoriam.
Yeah,
it felt like, oh my gosh, so many people died. Let's speed through it to like make the show end sooner.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
Well, you've put the nail on the head. It's a ratings game. People don't want to sit there and feel sad for 10 minutes and look at all the people that they've liked that died.
Yes.
You know? Like, I think the good move, the Academy just puts the full video on YouTube. The next day. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, but I don't think
they put the in memoriam usually.
But what I would do is I would put a full-length version of the in memoriam on, all their social media and be like, hey, felt rushed? Here's the actual version that honors all these people, because...
You guys aren't here to hear about what we thought of, the structure of the award show. You're here about the winners. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, I'm happy for all the winners. I'm happy for all the winners. Action in a Porting World, obviously, Young and June from Minari. That was... Queen. I got no beefs.
I mean, I'm happy. I am definitely happy about that one.
There's not really much categories to talk about because a lot of expected stuff did win.
Back-to-back Soul.
Back-to-back Soul wins.
Animated and song or score. I mean,
I'm incredibly happy that Emerald Fennell won for original screenplay.
Mm-hmm. Cinematography, Mank.
Oh yeah,
did you guys hear that weird silence from Connor?
I have a big issue with the Mank win in cinematography, and here's the thing: I am not a cinematographer. I'm not on the board of the Academy. I am sure these people who are experts in their field know more than I do. But to me, that's just the wrong choice.
Interesting.
When things like Judas and the Black Messiah and Nomadland are in the same category, that's a wrong choice.
Yeah.
That was a goofball move. I'm going to say it.
Costume design, Ma Rainey's back bottom.
Yeah, costume makeup both Ma Rainey.
That was kind of
that was cinched, yeah.
That was cinched. Directing, Nomadland, hell yes. My Octopus Teacher, didn't see it. What
Didn't
do you
see
think?
it. I haven't seen it.
This is actually one that definitely gave me a little bit of hope because I think a lot of people are going to look at... Obviously, Connor, what movie won Best Sound?
Oh, Sound of Metal.
Sound of Metal. Obviously, Sound of Metal. I was only going to be annoyed at that win if it didn't win anything else. You know, it's like, oh, well, just like Sound of Metal is so much more than just the sound movie, the person with deaf, like with hearing disability movie. There's so much more to it that makes it an amazing film.
Yeah.
And the Academy I knew was going to pigeonhole it, but they didn't. They gave Sound of Metal film editing, and that made me really happy. That honestly, having Sound of Metal win film editing, I think is my favorite win of the night.
Yeah.
For me. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it.
It's a very expected year, except where it wasn't. A couple of very big surprises.
Except for literally the last like half an hour.
Yeah.
Tenet, visual effects.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw a great meme where it was like the VFX in Tenet, and they played a clip from Tenet, and they went on Premiere and clicked reverse.
Oh my God.
It was a really good meme.
That's so funny.
I thought that was very funny.
They literally just hit the reverse button. Yeah, here's my Oscar. I hit the reverse button.
I thought that was very funny.
Ugh.
Yeah, overall, very lackluster ceremony, but a good slate of nominees and a good slate of winners with a few like exceptions that made me kind of upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, thank you for listening to this Oscar segment. Dan's going to cut it down, but there was a lot of rambles in there.
Many rambles.
Many rambles.
Many a ramble.
And we haven't told what the next segment's going to be, so I'll say it here now. We're going to come back to some Mailbag.
Mailbag.
A nice return segment.
Yes.
So we'll catch you guys after this PSA break.
Running late to class but still need that morning caffeine or hot breakfast to start your day out right? Download the Bite app by Sodexo and place your custom order for fast, easy pickup at Zyme. Open 8:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. Mondays through Fridays.
Hey guys, welcome back to Film And. As mentioned, we're doing a Mailbag segment.
Mailbag.
Man,
all Mailbag has been filling up over the year. So we're really excited to dip into this very thick, heavy burlap sack that we have dragged into the Film And offices this fine afternoon.
I was told by the nice postal worker at the post office is not a storage unit.
Yeah,
so
we have to do this episode because they were done just holding all of our envelopes for us and packages. And what's funny is there was actually like boxes and packages that just had letters in them.
Just letters.
No stuff, just letters.
Just letters.
In giant boxes.
This giant like industrial sized box just had a singular
like a fridge
envelope.
box.
Yeah. They were not thrilled by that.
No, so we had to go in there the other day. We had to pull it out, and now it's here.
Didn't cost much to ship. It weighed like an ounce.
Yeah,
but...
exactly.
So Dan, the first question is actually from my girlfriend.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh,
she actually asked 3 questions
from the North Country.
Yeah, she took advantage of the fact that we're in a relationship and kind of abused our policy with letters. She put 3 questions in the same envelope, but whatever.
3 questions in the same envelope. You do
I'll let her
3
pass.
envelopes. That's our policy, but whatever.
I'll let her pass.
Okay.
She was being kind of resourceful. She was being using conservation. So actually, I give her here rule breaker, earth saver, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Works for me.
So this is from my girlfriend Erica, who has 3 questions. The first of which, Dan, is kind of it's a hard one. What is your Mount Rushmore of films/directors?
Films/directors.
Like each one, like films and directors.
So 4 films, 4 directors that I would put in the corners.
Yeah. I have mine.
Thank you for writing in, Erica.
Yeah,
it's
thank you
very
for
nice of you. It's a good question. It's a very hard question. It's a very difficult question.
I have mine prepared. You want me to go first? So my 4 films: The Social Network, Brokeback Mountain, Moonrise Kingdom, and Marriage Story.
Interesting. Going contemporary.
Yeah. Which is, if you know me and you watch the show, you know I have a very contemporary taste. Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
My directors goes a little less modern.
Yeah. I feel like to answer this question, I'm also going to go contemporary, but not in the sense of like contemporary films, but like my contemporary film experiences. So like the films I would put in my film school corner, not films that I grew, I think, to enjoy outside of it, but more of like as I've become like a true like cinephile. my cinephilic Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Stalker, Andrei Tarkovsky's Stalker, probably Apocalypse Now, Suspiria, and Taste of Cherry.
Very film school answer.
Very film school
And you're
answer.
talking about the remake of Suspiria, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the 2018 film Suspiria. Obviously, I watched, oh dear, I watched 2 of those in all Film History 2 class, Taste of Cherry and Stalker. Apocalypse Now, I watched for the first time last year, blew my mind. And then Suspiria, a personal favorite pick. I love that movie so much. It's like my favorite movie of the 2010s. So, bam, there it is. That's mine.
Then for director, I went with Wolfgang Reitherman, who is the director of...
Who?
Yeah. He's the animation director who did Aristocats and Robin Hood.
Oh, I was like, bro,
yeah,
what?
2 animated classics from the 70s I adore.
You do love those.
I love those movies. Spike Lee, which Spike's got to have a place in the Mount Rushmore of directors.
Wait, are you going like best or favorite?
I'm going best/favorites.
See, I can't go best. I can only do favorites for any of these questions.
No.
There is no best.
No.
It's so difficult.
There is no best. But Spike is a guy, like, I don't love every one of his movies that I've seen. But in terms of, like, Jungle Fever or Black Klansman, I think this guy's a genius. Oh, and Do the Right Thing, of course. How could I forget Do the Right Thing?
Oh, that.
But, like,
what was one of his earlier
yeah,
film
that
he did?
one.
Do the
Right Thing.
Doing a thing. It was about a thing, and someone did
no,
it.
in terms of those 3 movies, nearly perfect in my eyes. Like, incredible pieces of cinema.
Yeah.
Next is Bob Fosse. Because no one makes a picture like Bob Fosse. I'm going to say it. No one makes a picture like Bob Fosse.
You all
I'm blowing your mind.
my mind right now.
Yeah.
You all blowing my mind.
And then the last answer is pretty cut and dry. I'm very white. I go to film school. Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, that's the last one. Wes Anderson. I thought about putting Baumbach on here. I thought about putting Tarantino. But I'm happy with the 4 that I put.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking of I'm very white and I go to film school, Noah Baumbach.
Oh my god, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. If I'm going my route, Mount Rushmore, it's gotta be Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder. All 4. He gets just 4 different poses of his face on the mountain. No. God, no. I guess my directing Mount Rushmore would go to... It is difficult. I guess Tarkovsky, again, he's just my personal favorite. Hiro Murai. I love Hiro Murai's work. Obviously, got some TV in there too, but Guava Island, Copy for the Wrong Reasons, personal favorites of mine. And then Julian Roosevelt, German director, whose full-length film you might know, Manifesto, with Cate Blanchett. I'd put Julian Roosevelt in there. Doesn't have much else, which is sad, apart from, like, I guess, you might know the show Deep Gold or In the Land of Drought. You might know those. But really, Julian Roosevelt makes it on there for Manifesto alone. So what I said, Tarkovsky, Hiro Murai, Julian Roosevelt, and, I feel bad putting anyone on a mountain whose, like, filmography I haven't finished, and I haven't finished many people's filmographies. So, I don't know. Sofia Coppola, I guess.
Sofia? Yeah.
I'd put Sofia Coppola
I thought about
there.
putting Francis on mine, too.
What?
I thought putting Francis on mine.
Francis?
Ford Coppola.
Oh, Francis Ford Coppola. I was like, Francis McDormand?
Yeah, Francis McDormand.
So my list, I guess, would be Andrei Tarkovsky, Hiro Murai, Julian Roosevelt, and Sofia Coppola.
Interesting.
Dude, I'm not even a huge Coppola fan, but, like, what's funny is I don't come to Sofia Coppola movies for the movies. I come for Sofia Coppola. I don't know why she's, like, one of my favorites in my head now. Like, I keep thinking about it, I'm like, what an interesting director.
Yeah. You watched, like, all 7, like, in close proximity, too.
Yes.
Then, Dan, next question from my wonderful girlfriend, Erica. A desert island movie. And I took this as, like, a movie you are forced to watch. Because it's, like, the only movie you have on this island for at least a few years.
A few years.
So not a lifetime.
You can only
watch
watch
a few years.
One movie.
Yeah. I have an answer for this, too. Which my answer is going to be a little wild, I think. People are not going to expect it. Well, unless you know me, then you'll expect it. I debated a few. I was thinking Greta Gerwig's Little Women. I was thinking Marriage Story.
You could watch Greta Gerwig's Little Women
Yes.
Have that be the only movie you watch for like a number of years.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You could watch Sad Boy Timothy for a number of years.
Entirely. I think that movie's genius, Dan.
Dear God. Okay.
Same thing, Marriage Story. But I went with 2009's Adventureland.
See, no, I think that's a great pick. I don't think that's too crazy. I think that works. I think that's a good.
No, Adventureland is like
you want to have something that's a little fun.
Yeah.
You want to have a little fun with your movie.
I just feel very connected to Joel, James, and Em, the three leads of that movie.
Honestly, if I have to pick a movie, right? A movie that I need to watch. It's the only movie I can watch, right? For a couple years.
For a few years at least, yeah.
But I'll end up getting rescued.
Until you are rescued. Yeah, until you're rescued.
I will get rescued.
Let's say like 4 years.
4 years. Okay, so I have to spend basically the same amount one would spend in film school watching one movie. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to pick... Okay, maybe I'll be the crazy one. I'm going to pick 2017's Garth Thomas film, Ba Ba Land. If you guys don't know this, Ba Ba Land is an 8-hour film of just... It's a contemplative epic and entirely starring sheep. The sheep of Layer Moni Lamb, a farm in England. And basically, it's an experimental film. It's 8 hours, and it's just slow motion footage of sheep. But I pick it because it is not only my longest Letterboxd entry, it is also a deeply intriguing film that I think if I'm just getting a film, I might as well get 8 hours of it because I will end up like examining every frame of this. There will be something to look at in every second of this 8-hour film. You know, instead of getting tired of like a story that I've like, if I pick a movie I like and and that's the only movie I can watch, then I'm probably going to get sick of that movie. I don't want to lose any of my liked movies. So I'm going to choose Ba Ba Land, an experimental film of slow motion sheep. Because I can just watch sheep. It'll help me go to sleep on the island. I can do it while I'm cooking coconut stew on the island. It'll be great. All the sheep have numbers on them. It's really fun. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, I thought my choice was going to be wild.
Oh, I'm sorry. I get to watch an 8-hour movie. Have fun with like your 2-hour Adventureland, buddy.
Okay, my final question for my girlfriend. A movie I watched, or we watched, I guess I should say, too young. Whatever you want to define as like something you watched too young.
A movie we watched too young.
Maybe you couldn't appreciate it. Maybe it freaked you out. Mine, I chose like, one was like, why would you show a child this? And the next one was like, this date actually creeped me out.
Oh, I've got it, yeah.
Yeah. You want to go first then?
Yeah. Iron Giant.
Iron Giant, interesting.
Iron Giant is, as of now, well, okay. I'll be honest, guys. I don't want to mess up the film and canon, but I have since changed my mind on my first episode. I said that Iron Giant was my favorite animated film, but it has since been surpassed by Miyazaki's Castle in the Sky. I dove more into that. I did the think piece. It is now my favorite animated film. Sorry to those who catch me saying it on early season 1, Dan's first appearance. But
whose entire lives are shattered now. The things they held dear and true to their hearts. The Dan's favorite anime movie is The Iron Giant.
But it's a very close second.
Yeah. Though they're in their room right now, they're tearing up their Dan posters, they're crying.
How could he say that?
How could he say he likes Castle in the Sky with an Iron Giant?
You said Iron Giant, you lied to us. No, Iron Giant. My parents showed that to me way too young. I cried and screamed because I couldn't get through the movie. I was so scared of the first bit, like when the Iron Giant gets caught in the electrical wire. I got so scared, I was too afraid to walk up to the TV to turn it off. I couldn't even do that. I was just hiding in my mother's arms. But then I revisited it in like early high school, and I'm like, this is like one of the best movies ever, you know? Like it truly is an awesome
It's due
movie.
for rewatch. I've not seen it in years.
And I watched it way too young.
One, just like, it didn't freak me out or anything. It was like, why would you show a 3-year-old this? Was X2.
Oh.
Yeah.
You remember watching it at 3?
Dan, that's the first movie I ever remember watching is X-Men 2.
Wow.
Which is why X-Men 2 holds like a special place in my heart. Like, I love that movie.
X2 definitely was like one of my first superhero movies in general.
Yeah.
And that's a good one.
No, yeah. I saw it way too young because, like, more, like, not morally, but, like, why would you show a 3-year-old X2? And then the next one is The Dark Knight. which for the first time I watched The Dark Knight, I had nightmares about Heath Ledger's Joker. Because I watched it when it came out in 2008.
Jeez.
And I literally could not sleep.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm being completely serious. It was on Christmas Day. My sister got the DVD of The Dark Knight for Christmas. So we watched it Christmas Eve. And I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I just saw Heath Ledger's face as the Joker.
Christmas Eve, Connor was nestled into his bed, not dreaming of Santa Claus, but Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes. I don't want them to know where I live.
Indiana.
Thank you.
I'll edit it. Indiana. I see. I'll just pop it in because editing is magic.
Thank you. But yeah, that was also.
I live at 67 Brooks Avenue, Burlington, Vermont, 05401. Come feel visit me.
You're not gonna keep that in. There's no way.
Keep it in.
No, you aren't.
I'm keeping it in.
Dan, do not keep that in.
I'm keeping it in.
That's just not smart.
You're not smart.
That's just not safe. That's just a bad idea.
You're bad.
That's just a bad idea.
I don't care. Keep going.
Anyway, both movies I love a lot. Except The Dark Knight. That was the Christmas I got the Wii. I couldn't sleep. The game console, the Wii, Dan.
The Wii. I was like, is that what
I peed my bed. I got the Wii.
That's what I thought.
I was so scared, Dan. I got the Wii.
I thought that's maybe what you called it. I don't know what people from
Indiana call pissing the bed. We call it the Wii. Anyway, I couldn't sleep because every time I closed my eyes, I saw Heath Ledger's face. Mm-hmm. So I just came downstairs early and here's the thing. If you have children, get them away from the radio in 3, 2, 1. I knew Santa Claus wasn't real. So I was already pretty okay with seeing my mom put presents away. But I was happy. I was like, oh, we got a Wii?
Oh my.
And she was like, you weren't supposed to see that. Imagine 4'1" Connor. Just literally eyes are not open. I cannot keep them open. I was like, oh wow, we got a Wii?
I love that picture in my head. You're just like, we got a Wii, dude. We got a Wii.
Because that was the big Christmas for the Wii.
Sports.
I can't wait to bowl.
I can't wait to do some fencing.
Good memories associated with both, but I did watch them way too young. Friend of the show. Next question is from friend of the show, Steve.
Wait, Steve from the known for
Hogback Mountain?
Oh my god! Whoa, Steve, thank you for writing in.
Yeah, thanks for writing. Thank you for putting the mail in the mailbox, even though it's just our mailbox. You just licked the envelope, put it in my mailbox. I watched you do it. I went out and grabbed it. You could have just handed it to me, but I appreciate the effort and the bit. And he asked, "What is the post-COVID movie you're looking forward to the most?" What was delayed because of pandemic you're looking forward to seeing the most?
Interesting. Well, this actually kind of harkens back to our season 3 opener of movies to look forward to, 2 of which never came out. Yeah. Which was sad. We got No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie, and Death on the Nile, which is kind of a follow-up to Murder on the Orient Express from Kenneth Branagh. I'd have to say one of those two. I'd say both of those two I'm equally excited for. I'd say either Death on the Nile or No Time to Die. Those all really big for me.
I'm glad you said it. Because No Time to Die is my big one.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And you guys know, if you watch the show, I have beef with the MCU. But I'm incredibly excited for Eternals. Chloe Zhao's MCU movie is an incredibly interesting concept to me. And I'm very excited to see what that ends up being.
I am down for that.
This question's a hard one. This also comes from friend of the show, Clay. Who I already mentioned earlier.
Clay. Thank you for writing.
He says, a director that has grown on you the most since starting film school.
Has grown on me.
Yeah, it's grown on me.
So...
Grown on us, I should say.
Grown on us. So, this has to be a director that you didn't like that much?
See, I don't think even dislike. It's just, it could be oh, they're okay. And then you, really fall in love with their, oeuvre.
Yeah.
Because my answer, I think, is Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, interesting.
Because pre-film school, I only had Actually, no, Dan. The answer is Sofia. The answer is Sofia Coppola. Because going into film school... I had only seen Lost in Translation, and I thought it was okay the first time I saw it. Mm-hmm. But watching her filmography in film school, I think she's great.
Yeah, I was never a huge Wes Anderson person, but Wes Anderson is definitely, I think, for me, an intriguing watch every time I watch one of his films. But I always feel like when it comes to auteurs like him, I always want a bit of ooh, what's he going to do next? But I know what he's going to do next.
He's going to make a Wes Anderson movie.
He's going to make a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah. And it's okay. If that's an aesthetic you love, then, hey, you get a helping every 3 to 5 years. But sometimes I wish there was just some more variety in his oeuvre. Steven Spielberg. You know, I saw his stuff when I was younger. I loved Last Crusade, but all of his other stuff I was like, meh, too. I've since seen 9 of his movies, specifically during film school, mostly in the past 2 years. And I get it. I get why Spielberg is one of the greats, you know? Yeah. Spielberg has definitely grown on me, so I guess that's my pick.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Here's the thing.
You had a great pick, too.
Controversial opinion, Dan. Steven Spielberg, good director.
Hey, man, we're here to spit the facts.
Yeah, don't care how controversial they are. We get raunchy on this program.
We do. What can we say?
No, Spielberg's someone I also have some issues with. Like, I don't think he's like as great as people say he is, but I acknowledge he's great.
He's got some. I mean, he's so expansive. He has so many movies that there's one for you. There's one for everybody.
Oh, speaking of the one for me, Saving Private Ryan.
The one for me, Empire of the Sun.
Yeah. I believe that is the last question from my section of the mailbag. Oh. If you want to dive into your envelopes you've picked up.
Oh, I've got so many here in this mailbag. We're running out of time, so we're going to keep it to only 2 more. We're going to keep 2 more letters, but thank you everyone for writing in. I guess let's see. This one is from it's from my sister.
Wow.
Julia. Thank you.
All the way from England.
Julia writes, "Hi Dan. Let's hang out. I'm sorry. We'll try and hang out soon. Favorite new director? Question mark? Oh, that's it. Okay. Favorite new director. I guess favorite, all interpretation of that would be favorite director.
2 movies or less?
2 movies or less. My favorite director is the one who hasn't made one yet. No.
Well, you know what I mean? One movie. Younger, I don't mean 0 movies.
Yeah, younger in the sense of,
career.
Career, yeah.
My list is Jordan Peele, Greta Gerwig, Lady Bird and Little Women, Ari Aster, and then Trey Edward Schultz.
Okay.
The director of It Comes at Night, Waves, and Cretius.
Wow. You're a film boy.
I am.
You are such a film.
I'm not going to deny it.
Okay, like your A24s and your kind of alty mainstream film.
The fun thing is 3 of the G's directors have made A24 movies.
Look at that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, Waves was A24?
Yeah.
Waves. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we've pretty much stayed away from A24. I'm a little proud of that.
Yeah.
We've done different stuff. We've talked about Cherry.
We've talked about Cherry.
But I guess my 3, I am your Robert Eggers to your Ari Aster.
Yes.
Robert Eggers, my man, the Vivitch and the Lighthouse. Obviously, very on my mind from last night, Chloe Zhao. Lulu Wang, who you might know from The Farewell, directing The Farewell last year. I really like her, I guess, tonal style, her visual style in The Farewell, and I think that can translate to other movies really well. I think she can talk about an expansive amount of topics with her aesthetic and her style. That could be really interesting. So my picks are Robert Eggers, Chloe Zhao, and Lulu Wang. All right, next up is from Matt. Thank you, Matt, for writing in. Matt writes, "Why haven't you visited our apartment in a while?" That's a good point. I have not been to my apartment in a while. I've been very busy editing. Matt writes, "What is your favorite year for movies?" Favorite year where movies came out?
2013. Because 2013, I'm going to list off some bangers for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
Her, Wolf of Wall Street, American Hustle, Short Term 12, Don John, Afternoon Delight, About Time, Drinking Buddies, 42, Rush.
Okay.
1994, which we have Pulp Fiction, Dumb and Dumber, Quiz Show, are the 3 huge ones for me that year.
Oh, yeah. You also, for Muriel's Wedding and Shawshank.
Yeah.
Too. 2018, 2019, and 1979, 1980. These 2 years, or these 4 years, come as pairs back to back. But when I look at the films that came out 2018, 2019, I mean, I have seen over 130 films from the 2018, 2019 season. And granted, a lot of misses, but many, many hits. And then upon that, I figured out that 1979, 1980 has some really amazing, my personal picks, really, because that comes with Stalker and Apocalypse Now, same year. Life of Brian, Phantasm.
Phantasm's a movie.
Phantasm is a movie. And then 1980, Altered States, Somewhere in Time, Airplane, The Shining, Friday the 13th. I mean, some really interesting picks. The Stuntman, which we just watched, the Richard Rush movie, Stuntman.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch with you guys. I'm really looking forward to watching that.
It was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's really fun. And for those of you who might know this, a little movie called Empire Strikes Back, 1980.
Yeah, a little movie. Didn't really have much impact in like the social consciousness, but
yeah, Irvin Kershner as a director, I feel like he's definitely known more for The Flim Flam Man and A Fine Madness. But other than that, what does he have? RoboCop 2.
Yeah, he's mainly stuck with like lesser known stuff. Like Empire Strikes Back's like kind of like the bottom of the barrel of his filmography.
It kind of is. Like, I'm afraid to say that because, I feel like Empire Strikes Back has like a cult following. Yeah. Like, there's a couple people out there.
People who like the movie like the movie.
Yeah, they like it.
It's not really like
they can have it
widespread, you know?
No.
Yeah. What a dumb bit.
What a dumb bit. What a really dumb bit. I love it. just devaluing one of the most iconic films of all
time.
Yeah. So for all of you out there at the post office, we've gotten rid of the letters, and there we did it. That's mailbag number 2. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my goodness. But yeah, if you want to find any of the movies we talked about today or in the past, from the past seasons, you can go to Connor's Letterboxd, correct?
Yes, it is Steve LTB. Steve like bird, that is my letterbox.
The word Steve, the word like,
the word bird. No guys, sorry. My letterbox is Cranberry 18. That is CRAND Berry 18. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. As always, we love you. Thanks for letting us do this. You'll hear me for air quotes last time next week.